Good afternoon. I'm Kacky Walton. Checking on the Arts is made possible by contributing listeners and the Orpheum Theater. The New Moon Theater Company presents the world premiere of Haint by Justin Asher. That opens this Friday night and runs through June 15th at Theater Works, and they're located, of course, at 2085 Monroe. Leigh Evans is directing this show, and she joins me this afternoon to talk about directing a play by a local playwright and that you've got a chance to work together, which I know is a gift for you. Good to see you. Thanks for coming by this afternoon.
Well, thank you so much for having us, Kacky. Actually, it has been a wonderful thing to work with a local playwright and also a friend and colleague. Justin is an incredibly talented playwright. It's been from a standpoint of mounting a production, been an incredibly easy one because he's written such an incredibly complete play.
Well, now, Haint makes me think there are ghostly elements at play here.
Well, you would be correct. You get a gold star. Justin actually came up with the title and the storyline from stories that his grandfather told him about Haints. And, of course, for those of you who may not be familiar with the term, Haints are ghosts. They are people who have died but not necessarily crossed over into a place where they are peaceful. So they are wandering around the earth with us. And there is definitely a Haint in the show and some supernatural effects. But it's really about the story of these people, and that's one of the things that I really love about Justin's script is he's created this. With any great script, you really want a complete sense of space, and the designers who have worked on the show, and also they've really brought to life Justin's script. Justin's script contains such an incredible sense of place that permeates the script and really informs the characters, and I think the audience will really enjoy it.
So you're doing it at Theater Works, a nice intimate space there.
Yes.
So this is going to be a great place to see his work mounted. And I know that he had done some staged readings about a year ago when he was starting to put this together. So I know that he's so excited to see his words being said up on that stage by actors.
He is very excited, and I'm very excited for him. He's been very good as a playwright about watching and not necessarily trying to get up in the middle of things, which was one of the things that we agreed upon when I agreed to direct the show for him. I just said, you've got to take a step back and allow somebody else to look at the production and bring the production to life. And he's been very complimentary, and I think he's very pleased. I don't think he has any reason not to be pleased. The cast has been incredible. The designers have created this incredible sense of space. The play is centered in Whitehorse Mountain in the Ozarks, very near the Missouri Boot Hill, and concerns people keeping secrets and those secrets being exposed. And every character has their secrets. And I love the location of the mountain because I think in nature we tend to be able to bury our secrets a little bit more easily. But the designers, again, I can't say enough about the work that they've done. They've really brought the space, whether it be sound, costumes, set especially. Chris Sterling has created an incredible set for us that I think, as I told the actors the other night, it's one of those cases where I really want the audience to come in and feel like they're almost interloping on this, the curtains being peeled back on this thing that's taking place, and the audience isn't necessarily even there. Like the audience is in their space, not necessarily the reverse.
Right. So we want to talk about your cast, too, because Haint is the story of Mercy, and Janie Paris is playing this character.
Janie Paris, we are so lucky to have Janie playing Mercy. She's such an incredible actress. The last thing she was seen in with New Moon was Death of a Salesman, where she played the wife of the salesman. I'm blanking on the name, but she did an incredible job. She's just such an organically talented actress. I think people are going to be really pleased with her. And the entire cast, I could not be more pleased. David Hammonds is playing her son Charlie. Elisa Moran is playing Evangeline. Stephen Burke returns after a tour of duty in Afghanistan, and now he's serving as one of Memphis' finest, but he has agreed to be on stage with us. He's doing a phenomenal job as her husband, John Thomas. Randy Sluter is in the production. She's also well known around Memphis stages. And we have a very talented young man who's about 12 years old named Jules Heck, who's playing young Charlie. So, yes, they're great.
So does the set just evoke just a rural atmosphere, like we're sort of sneak peek, eavesdropping on somebody's home out in the middle of the country in the hills.
I think you get that sense very much. Mercy is a woman who has lived on the mountain for many years. She's very isolated, as I like to call her, kind of the crazy cat lady from The Simpsons. She's got a bit of a cantankerous kind of crazy edge to her, and she's very isolated up on that mountain. And I think the set that Chris has designed works very well for that particular part of the script, but we have several other areas as well. He's organically, and that term is overused a lot, but he's very much created spaces that evolve out of the set rather than having to do a lot of scene changes.
Right.
Which I think is very interesting. And one of the central pieces of the set is this memory tree. At Mercy's location, her aunt, I believe her mother, started a tree called a milk and honey tree. And every time that somebody passes from the family or passes away who's very important to them, they hang a mason jar in the tree that contains artifacts from that person's life that they think would keep them close to them.
Oh.
And so there's this beautiful array of memory jars that are hanging from the trees that are ever present. It's really beautiful. And that was also an awesome way to get sponsors involved. We started a marketing campaign online to help us raise funds to do the show, to maybe hopefully create some of those special effects and do some things that we might not have been able to do if we hadn't have done the fundraising. And one of the perks or benefits of becoming a sponsor at a certain level was you got to create a memory jar for your loved one.
Oh.
So not only do we have the memory jars from the family members that are contained within the play, but we also have memory jars from the audience members who have chosen to help support, who are also will always be a part of that production because they're with us all the time.
Oh my gosh, that's so wonderful. So he's talking about memories, he's talking about secrets and loneliness, and maybe having to find yourself and to find the strength to be an independent person, would you say?
To be an independent, I think that Mercy is already a very independent person. I think it's more about how you bridge the gaps in finding, once you've isolated yourself, how you overcome that isolation and create and allow yourself to be open to make connections with people again.
Right.
I think ultimately is where the script takes us. And I think that's wonderful. The connections that are made on stage, I think, really support that and are wonderful to watch.
Well, I'm just so thrilled that Justin has taken this step forward and become a playwright as well as a fantastic actor.
Well, he's a fantastic actor. He's a fantastic director. He's a wonderful friend, and I could not be more honored and privileged to have the opportunity to direct the show. And as I told the actors the other night, you get to put your stamp on this. Nobody else has done this before. You know, you get to create this for the very first time, and how special an opportunity that is. But excuse me. I also think that one of the things that's wonderful about it for the community, New Moon is wonderful about sponsoring new work, and they have been absolutely fabulous in producing this production. But it's really a sign for me that the arts community is really moving forward, because not only are we producing great work, but we're fostering new work that's being created within our community. And that, to me, is the real jewel in all of this. And I could not be more proud of Justin and the cast and everybody associated with it. I think it's going to be a fabulous production.
Well, Haint by Justin Asher opens at Theater Works. It's a New Moon Theater Company production, the world premiere this Friday, and that runs through June 15th. For tickets, call the box office at New Moon. That's 484-3467, or go to their website, newmoontheater.org. Leanne Evans directing Haint, and she's been my guest this afternoon. Thanks, Leanne.
Thank you so much, Kacky.
Checking on the arts made possible by the Orpheum Theater's 2014-2015 Broadway season, which includes Tony Award winners Kinky Boots and Once, and features Motown the Musical and A Christmas Story the Musical, plus a new production of Phantom of the Opera and The Return of the Lion King. For information, 525-3000 or orpheum-memphis.com.